Hello, everybody. Hi there. I got about a minute yet, but I wanted to start a little bit early. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're here. So hit the like button or give a comment out so that I know you're watching, and we will start in a little while. I'll just wait a minute or two until we know everybody's coming. Sorry about that. That's what happens when I have to wear a face mask all day. But life could be worse. So, all right. Do we have anybody that is joining us today? Oh, I see I have to move my camera up a little. Got my hands here. Looks like I need my nails done. So do we have anybody watching? Hit your like button. Put a comment in there for me. Let me know that you're watching. That'd be great. Today we're going to do a Technique Tuesday, and we will be coloring with the Stampin' blends today. And we are going to use the Flowers for Every Season suite. You will find those on page 13 of the annual catalog. And I have that right here in the viewfinder, so you can see that. The sunflower is the perfect stamp to practice with your stamping blends. It is like a training course for new stampers using the Stampin' blends because it works so nicely. They have done all the hard work for us, so all we have to do is color it, and we're going to look like an artist. And the design for the sunflower just makes it really easy. You can always work your way up into harder ones, but hey, I like this. And sunflowers are happy flowers, so we need some happiness in our life right now. All right. So we do have some people watching. If you would just hit the like button, let me know you're here. That'd be awesome. Again, we are going to use the Celebrate Sunflowers. And with that, we're going to use the Memento ink. And I'm really sorry when I bump that camera holder because then it shakes a lot. So I'll kind of go a little slow. The Memento ink is a fade resistant dye ink that works really well with the Stampin' blends. It will not smear. So please do not use your StazOn with this. The alcohol in the markers and the solvent ink do not go well together. They don't play nice. So let's move this out of here. Again, that's on page 13, and we'll bring that back in later. And right now, I am just going to take a piece of paper. I do have Whisper White here on my card that I shared with you yesterday. That was the Very Vanilla. So we're going to take our sunflower stamp and our Memento ink, and we are going to stamp it the way I think all stamps should be inked. This way you're showing the stamp who is boss. You get a better view on how well you ink your stamp. You don't use too much pressure which you would get the sides all filled up with ink. So you got a nice ink, and then I just keep that right there. And then we're going to flip this down. Now, if you were making a lot of cards like this, I would suggest using the Stamparatus, because that nice little tool will make sure that you get a perfect stamp every time. If you don't get that inked up real well, you can re-ink it and then just press that back down. But right now we have our image stamped, and I'm going to pull that up just a little bit so you can see that better, and give it just a second to dry. You saw that I held the stamp down a little bit longer, and the reason I do that is because the ink absorbs into the paper and you get a much nicer image when you allow it to soak in just for an extra second or two. All right. When we color with the Stampin' blends, I'm basically using 3 colors. Now, once you get real used to working with these, you can start adding other colors. You'd be surprised what adding a tinge of blue might do, or something like that. But today we're just going to start with 3 basic colors, and I want to just show you how easy it is, and this is great for beginners. So on this one, I have the Light Daffodil Delight, and I am going to, if my hands will open this, use the brush tip. Many times I do the, oh, there goes my phone, the harder tip, but for this technique, I like the brush tip. So I'm not going to color the whole thing in. We are just going to do a couple at a time. And once I get my lids off, I kind of keep them off, and that's why I only do a couple at a time. And we're going to do the brush on all of those right now. And then we do the light all over, and then on the dark daffodil, we're going to come in and just color that just where Stampin' Up! Has their lines is where we're going to put our lines. And then I'm going to go back over with the light, and that blends that in really nice. Now you see I keep holding my pens, and I hope I'm not blocking your view, but then I come down here, and using those lines again, I'm going to come in, and this is the light soft suede. So we're going to come back in there, and then one more time with that light. If you feel you need to add a little bit more dark in here, go ahead, because now you're starting to saturate your paper, and it allows this to mix a little better. You'll see how that works on the back. And then you just grab your light, and we're going to do the next couple. So here you don't have to be too picky. Just get that ink in there. Again, then we're going to go in with the darker daffodil. Again, just coloring those lines that Stampin' Up! Put in their design for us. Over the top with the light again to blend that in. And you don't have to go over the whole thing. You can leave some of the tips a lot lighter. And then we're going to move in, sorry about that, with that dark again. So you kind of get the idea of how Stampin' Up's design actually works to make your stamping look even better. They make this easy for us, and then they give us all these fun tools to work with. We'll do some watercoloring on another Tuesday, which we'll grab the new aqua painters and maybe some watercolor pencils at another time. But if you would like to see something special, please put that in the comment section. When you put the comments in, it helps other people find me. So I would appreciate if you would do that for me. If you would like the video and give me a comment or two on there. And I like to go back in every now and then and start putting that real dark edge around there. All right, so one more time. Let's go with these big ones. And we'll just come in here and color those with the light. Notice this doesn't really take long either. Okay, back with the dark Daffodil Delight. Come back in there using Stampin' Up's lines. Get in there. Go back over with that light and you can blend that in. Now the other tip we'll use another time, and I'll show you how working with that other end actually helps push that color along. But this technique and this flower, you really don't need to. So we're going to get that down there and then bring that in. And I noticed I got a little dark spot there, so I'm just going to make the yellow come up a little more, and then that'll kind of hide it. Otherwise, we do have a pen. Try to grab this out of your way. And this one is a color lifter. So what the color lifter does is, let me just show you. It'll take some of that color away. So you see how much lighter that's getting? And it works beautiful, and that color does not stay on there. It's magic. It just goes away. Now we can come back in with our yellow. And then the darker daffodil. And then one more time. And this is the light that we're using. The light, soft suede. I just like that color because it really does look like a sunflower. Now see, I see some of my colors are a little lighter than I want. Okay, so let's come in and bring a little bit more of this back in. That's our dark daffodil. It's all right if the tips are light because the sun is catching them, right? Okay, now I'm going to come back in here with the light and I'm going to go over it just to blend that up a little nicer. Once it dries, it changes just a little bit, so you can always go back and you'll see that that goes through. That's not a problem. That's supposed to do that. Those are alcohol markers, so that's gonna leach out a little bit. So, but it stays very nicely with our Memento ink. So, what are you thinking so far? I would love to hear your thoughts. And I'm sorry, I can't see your comments right now. So if you have a question, or if you let me know what you'd like to see maybe next Tuesday or in an upcoming Tuesday, Technique Tuesday, that would be awesome. And then I will message everybody back after the presentation. So we're going to do one more little section here because this is going so quick and easy. So we'll do this, and we've only been on for 13 minutes. Not bad. Going to come on here. And if you like coloring the other way, to me this kind of feels a little bit upside down, but it works better for the camera. So I'll just stay down here. And then we'll add our brown in here again. Okay, and you can add a little up there if you want to. All right. Now, if I'm going to do the center, I'm going to start like this all the way around because I want to get that nice dark edge. And I'm going to go around again. And then I'm just going to work my way into the center. Okay, now they've done a lot of work for us already, so we don't have to worry about, you could just leave that like that if you'd want to. If you want to make it a little darker, we can bring in the dark soft suede and bring that in. And now I am going to use the other tip just because I want a little more control, because I'm not just doing a nice brush over like a watercolor technique. I'm actually wanting this to go closer to those flowers. I'm just going to bring that right there, and then I'm going to bring a little bit of this into the center. All right. That one I'm going to close up, and I'm going to come back here. And I don't normally tell people to keep their pens open all the time, but now see how you get that nice light ring, and we're getting the dark here yet, not going too far up into my flowers. But you are creating such depth with that darkness there, and then you just go lighter and lighter. So simple, very simple. Like I said, the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set or bundle is on page 13, and it is, right now, I think it's the perfect flower for anyone who is learning how to color with the Stampin' blends. These are a great tool, but just like anything else, it is an investment. So you definitely want to make sure that, you know, start out with a few colors that you like. If you would like to purchase this set, let me know. I can order it for you, or you can go right onto my website, which is www.lindaloves.stampinup.net, and you can shop anytime, day or night. And you can pick this up and then just start out with a few colors. I suggest maybe besides the daffodil and the these are soft suede, you might want to get a green. So I'm an old olive kind of person. I love all the greens, but that one seems to fit the most color palette, so it works well with so many other colors. So if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so that is how I colored my card. And here is the card. And you can see exactly how I did the same thing in the coloring. I actually did this one center a little darker. I actually like today's better. And the background and the flower were both done in very vanilla. And then I stamped the small sunflowers on the sides. And then I used a sponge dauber. Let me see, they're right here. Sponge daubers. I used one of those just to kind of put some color in the middle, and then softly put some on around the outside of the little sunflowers. That way my petals stayed a little lighter, so that popped out a little bit, but it also created a focal point for which my large sunflower went into. Then I put my bow on, which is the bumblebee ribbon, and the greeting, thanks a bunch, comes in the stamp set with the Celebrate Sunflower. Sorry about that. And I don't normally do this, but I actually trimmed around the font, and I actually really like that effect. And then I laid it over the top of the ribbon, so it really brings out that greeting. And that draws your eye to the center of the sunflower, which creates a really nice focal point. All right, and if you missed the one the day before, I did this one. This was my Sunday simple stamping, and I just stamped the little sunflower all over the background, bumblebee on bumblebee cardstock, and then I stamped off the one for my greeting. I stamped off so that it wasn't so dark, and then I just did my greeting over the top just to create a little added touch to that. And then layered your cardstock, very vanilla, bumblebee, and early espresso. So that's all I have for you tonight. It was nice little quick. I will get better and more techniques later on. I thought this would be a great one to start with because it is quite simple to do. And again, that sunflower is the perfect sunflower to work with. The perfect image if you are learning to do Stampin' Blends. It is easy. You saw how easy. You do not have to buy a whole bunch of colors to start out with. If you love the sunflower, pick out the Daffodil Delight, the soft suede, and then maybe a green. And I like olive. Mossy Meadow is pretty too, but it's a little bit darker. So anyways, I thank you for joining me today. Again, please leave a comment and let me know how you liked the presentation, and let me know what you'd like to see next time. This will stay up on my Linda Stampin' Escape page, so you can watch it back if you'd like to. And then you can just leave a comment then. If you missed the live and you are watching the replay, I would love it if you could just put replay in the comments, and then I know you got to catch it. So I appreciate you taking the time out this afternoon and watching our first Technique Tuesday, and I'll be back next week at 6 o'clock with another technique. Thank you so much.